Hello, brothers and sisters. It's a new week. We are very happy to introduce you to our show titled Speak of Africa. We thank you very much. Special thanks to our subscribers. You're subscribing a lot and we're getting more viewers too. But continue sharing the show with your friends. As the year draws to a close, we want to get more viewers. We're going to get the show better for you. So we thank those who have been supporting us. Without your support, we will not really have a show. So once again, we say thank you very, very much. There is a whole lot of news breaking out today. Our show is different because we present the kind of news that most of the traditional channels in the West don't want to present. We tell you what sometimes you may not even want to hear. But it's because as a TV outlet, we need to be objective. This is the canon of journalism. We have to tell you the truth. We tell you the news that is breaking out in the motherland from an African perspective. But it doesn't mean that we have to lie to ourselves. We cannot deceive ourselves. If we do that, we're not really doing a good job. When we look at the news this week, the major story is the people are really worried about political issues, social issues, and economic issues. These are bread and butter issues. According to Abraham Maslow, the hierarchy of needs, the people are really focusing on food and shelter. They really want the bread and butter issues to be handled by their leaders. In essence, the rule of law. The people are looking for transformative leadership. They are looking for revolutionary leadership. They are tired of leaders who just want to sit tight, stay in power forever, like Paul Biya of La République du Cameroun. They are tired of such colonial leaders. They want a new type of leader to emerge. And that's what the African masses are looking for. When we look at the stories that are breaking out in Africa this week, the people are making calls. We need a change. We need leaders who love their country. We need leaders who can help the people, because the people are going through a whole lot of hardship, as we're going to give you examples in the countries we're going to name. Without further ado, we're going to start the news of today by looking at what has happened in La République du Cameroun. There's a whole lot of trouble. Some of you have been sending us news. You say the Ambazonian revolution is on the wrong course. Okay? It needs to be corrected. Some people say it's finished, but you guys keep telling us that you are not happy with the way the Ambazonian revolution is going. And we hear you, and we're sharing your information with the whole world. This show is one of those shows that started publicizing what was happening to the people of the northwest and southwest areas. We shared this news ferociously, and we made sure that people knew about the Ambazonian cause. Whatever has become of this Ambazonian revolution, we want people to know that we've done our best to educate the world that there's a problem in that part of the world. Okay? And we'll continue to do so. So when we look at La République du Cameroun, Paul Biya has ignored the Ambazonian problem, thinking that he has vanquished them. But that's a mistake. A lot of Paul Biya's friends in the West are advising him to change course. Now that he thinks he has vanquished the Anglophones, he needs to redress some of the issues that are causing issues among Anglophones. The feeling of marginalization, second-class citizenship. Those are all issues that Paul Biya needs to address. You may think that you've beaten the guys. Look at what happened in Israel and Palestine the other day. Israel thought they have vanquished the Palestinians. Out of nowhere, out of the blue, Israel was shocked to find out that Hamas has paralyzed their security establishment, their security apparatus. For many hours, the Israeli military did not know what to do. They were just confused. So if people can do this to the formidable Israeli military, what about weak structures in Africa like La République du Cameroun? So you need a wake-up call, right? You need the masses to wake you up, right? This day you see a result of the wrong way of building houses in La République du Cameroon. There's a lot of floods, and people have died in these floods that swept away a lot of houses. The Catholic Church has tried to make us pay attention to this problem. You can see in Yaoundé, Mbankolo, the neighborhood, a lot of houses were just swept away by floods, and a lot of people lost their lives. We want to take a moment of silence to commemorate with the families of the departed. Okay. Then similarly, as we're coming to the studio to tape our show of today, we'll also receive information about road accidents. A ghastly accident in Yaoundé where a truck, a bus carrying people who were going to a funeral collided with another vehicle, and a lot of people died. So this is really sad. These are the main highlights of news in La République du Cameroon. While the leadership of Biya is cowed down, worrying about coup d'etats, the people are left to their own devices. Drivers drive drunk, and that's what creates a lot of these accidents, because there's no rules of safety for the roads. When you navigate the roads, there need to be rules of safety. But it's just like a crazy environment. People just drive the way they want. The only thing the government wants to do is make sure that you don't overthrow me. So long as you don't overthrow me, you can do whatever you want, drink and kill yourself. That's the message of the government. Similarly, the Department of Housing in La République du Cameroon is supposed to have norms, standards of building, so that there is safety and maintenance. Unfortunately, this improvident government doesn't take some of these issues into account, and it is creating a whole lot of problems. This is why the people of La République du Cameroon need transformative and revolutionary leadership. Leadership that is based on the rule of law, leadership that is based on compassionate capitalism, leadership that is not based on tribalism. I'm from your tribe, I will give you a job. If you come from another tribe, you will not get a job. So tribalism needs to end, because that's what is really fueling a lot of conflict in Africa. Okay? When we look at Algeria, we talked about Algeria last week. What is happening in Algeria? You remember the Algerian Revolution. The Algerians kick out France. Today, there's a new scramble in Africa. Africans want to kick out France in the motherland. Africans perceive France to be their enemy, and they want France to leave. It is already happening. Algeria asks France to leave. Today, the Algerians are siding with the Palestinians. They are giving them moral support. But I think the Palestinians need more than just moral support from Algeria. They need to have some concrete ways of assisting their Arab brothers, because right now they are not really doing much. They are just paying lip service. So which is why the Palestinians' cause is not going anywhere. The Arabs, just like my guy Gaddafi said a few years ago before they killed him, the Arabs are really useless. They make a whole lot of noise. They have the oil, but they don't really know how to fight so that America should not be taking their oil for nothing. They are defenseless. They slaughter their own brothers. Then they say, oh no, we are protesting in support of Palestine. Just protesting, governments that have money and resources, but it looks like they are just jaded, because even Egypt fought Israel so many years, so many times. At one point, Egypt just decided to give up. Anwar Sadat could not fight anymore. When he went to the Knesset of Israel to talk about peace, the Arabs were just mad. They were mad as hell. And they decided to kill him like a dog. Today, you see what is still happening. The Arabs are still not happy. In Libya, they are not happy with Israel. And that's why you see the Palestinian conflict is escalating again. Because Libya just shows you that even though the guide, Muammar Gaddafi, is gone, but his people still do not support Israel. And they will never support Israel. That's what is happening. Then what about Burkina Faso? This is the country we've been talking about a whole lot. It's Ibrahim Traore's country. The issue with jihadists remains. We've had 2 coups d'etats in a very short time, yet jihadists are still killing people. After more than a year in power, Ibrahim Traoré has not been able to stem the tide of jihadists. We've been saying that the rule of law needs to be reestablished in this country. Militarization is not the complete solution to the problem of jihadists in this part of the world. But most people don't like to listen to our message of dialogue and peace. Just using arms, you cannot conquer the jihadists. You're wasting your time. We've said this many times on this show. The government of Ibrahim Traoré needs to engage the jihadists. They are brothers and sisters. Talk to them, find out what is wrong, and come to an agreement. Don't just think that you're going to use weapons, fight them, weapons that you take from Russia, weapons that you get from China, and you're going to win. No, you're not going to win. So Burkina Faso, the land of upright men, le pays des hommes intègres, stand up, support your leader Ibrahim Traoré, but tell him that the militarization is not going to be successful. So he needs to change the approach. He needs a more viable approach, which is based on dialogue, talking to people, discussing. That's the way Africans used to solve problems back in the colonial days. Indigenous African institutions tell us that Africans had institutions before the white man came. And they were using these institutions to maintain stable societies. Okay? So Burkina Faso needs to learn this. Next, we'll take you to Congo DRC. In Congo DRC, the election fever is there. Felix Tshisekedi wants to win re-election, so he's doing everything possible to stay in power. But one of the painters just shared some news with us that he's very pessimistic about the future of his country. There's still war in the east. Felix Tshisekedi has not been able to do much to stem the tide of the war in the east between the M23 and other rebels plus Rwanda. As a guy who wants to run and win re-election, why can he not look for measures to solve the problem of M23 and violence in the east of Congo? He only wants to be president for nothing, but he doesn't want to solve the major problem affecting his people. How is he going to win re-election under such conditions? It's because he has a state apparatus. He's going to use it to stay in power. But another story that somebody gave us has to do with people, peacekeepers, UN peacekeepers from South Africa. They sexually violated a lot of Congolese. Over 9 of them, they were asked to leave. So this is really sad. Peacekeeping. Where is the peacekeeping? Now they are doing by love keeping. Isn't that sad? So we don't like this and we want to draw your attention to it. Because then in Congo also, we see the election going on. So who is going to win? The opposition is divided, as we told you last week. So we take you now to Egypt. Egypt is very, very close to Israel and Palestine. Egypt used to be the granddaddy, the major Arab country fighting Israel. But Egypt has given up since the days of Anwar Sadat. Now, Egypt is trying to provide some aid to the Palestinians in Gaza. Is that enough? We think Egypt should be able to do more. Egypt had signed a peace treaty with Israel, so right now they are not fighting Israel anymore. And besides, the US government is buying them off. The US government is giving a lot of aid to Egypt. As a result, Egypt doesn't want to fight Israel anymore. So you see the hypocrisy in the world? That's just the way the world is. Some people tell you we don't criticize America. We do. Whenever we see what is not going right in America, we share this with you. Okay? So that's as much as we can tell you about Egypt.
Tired of waiting in long lines at the emergency room or your doctor's office? You should be. Why wait in long lines for care? It's time for you to come to Lucille Urgent Care. Real care, no waiting. Lucille Urgent Care, the best place for true and loving care. Service at Lucille Urgent Care is convenient, fast, time-efficient, affordable, accessible, transparent, and cost-effective. Royal treatment is your right. Indeed, it's not just a privilege or pejorative. Skip the emergency room's long lines, kiss the ER goodbye, say farewell to your old doctor's office, pay less, save time, enjoy the excitement of convenience, receive immediate treatment, Get the healthcare you need quickly and affordably. Lucille Urgent Care offers many express services: rapid COVID-19 testing, on-site prescription, preventative lab services, imaging and x-rays, urgent medical treatment for common illnesses and injuries, routine vaccines and flu shots, work-related injury services, pre-employment, occupational, annual, and sports physicals, immigration exams, and much more. Same-day treatment, rapid lab results, extended hours, weekend hours, no appointment necessary, no insurance necessary, no doctor necessary, walk-ins accepted, telemedicine available. We are open 7 days a week with evening and weekend hours. We are located in Maryland. Lucille Urgent Care, 903 Half York Road, Towson, Maryland, 21204. Website, lucilleuc.com. Call at 443-275-1286 or 301-593-4897.
Next, we take you to Gabon. Oligui Brice Nguema, the new strongman of the junta in Gabon, is already making some overtures. He wants to avoid isolation in his community. So he wants other countries in Africa like Congo DRC, Felix Tshisekedi, to welcome him so that he can be part of the regional bloc. And that's why he's visiting other places. The other week he was in Congo Brazzaville. Last week he went now to Congo DRC to meet with Felix Tshisekedi, just to try to fight off the isolation of his country. So that's what is happening. Then what about Liberia? Well, Liberia just had presidential elections. As we speak, the guys are counting the votes. Who is going to win? Well, in African politics, the sit-tight presidents always win. So we're suspecting that George Weah is going to win again, because he manipulates and he controls the state apparatus. Okay? So it will be rare to discover that George Weah doesn't win this election. So people are waiting, and we know George Weah is going to win. Okay? So that's what is happening in Liberia. Then what about Mali? Well, Mali is still dealing with the issue with jihadis, but we know that they have kicked out the French, and now they don't want the French to be there. So it is a shame the way Mali has handled France. It's like there's a scramble for sovereignty. Under Assimi Goïta, Mali wants to be a sovereign country, a country that is self-reliant and independent. But the only problem is Mali is relying on Russia, which is not a good country. I know whenever I speak about Russia, a lot of Africans don't like it. Russia, yes, during the colonial days, Russia helped Africa. But what have you done for me lately? To me, Russia is taking a lot of the resources and giving Africa only weapons. And that's not what we need for development. When I say this, people don't get it. When America does the same thing, I criticize America. Yet, people don't like when I say things about Russia that are true and factual. Okay? So, Mali is good. You are against France. We accept it. Kick the French out. They've overstayed their welcome in Mali. And Mali needs to be a sovereign country. Okay? So let France go. But be careful the way you're handling Russia in your country. It's going to bring you more problems. Then what about Morocco? Morocco is another northern Arab country that is supporting Palestinians. King Hassan has made public his support for the Palestinians. But we look at it just like paying lip service to Palestinians. Most of these Arab states are not doing anything concrete to support the Palestinians as brothers. So they just talk. They say talk is cheap. Yeah, I'm supporting Palestinians. Why is Morocco not really supporting Palestinians for real? Well, it's because of Western Sahara and Polisario. We've told you that Morocco wants to keep Western Sahara as a territory. So they don't want to rock the boat, because they want to be on good terms with the United States of America, which is the proxy helping Israel. So that's the politics. You understand? I'm happy you've understood now. Then what about Niger? Niger has kicked out the French forces. We have a lot of pictures to show you. Niger is kicking the French soldiers. They are leaving. They are already leaving. Macron has lost. So there's a scramble now for sovereignty. The people want the rule of law. They don't want France in their country anymore. France made a U-turn. Initially, Macron was thinking that ECOWAS is going to be used to topple the military junta in Niger. Things did not work that way. Africans have come of age. They are very smart now. They decided to just ignore Macron. They've been able to fire off France, and they're winning. You can see French soldiers leaving Niger in disgrace. That's what Africa needs. What about Nigeria? Well, we have a whole lot of stories to tell you in Nigeria. The issue in Nigeria is just that with a new government now in power, we need the government to focus on economic issues, bread and butter issues for the people. The naira is a very weak currency. From what some of our journalists are telling us, the naira has really dropped in value a whole lot. A few months ago, we understand that the value of a naira to the dollar was like 730. $1 for 730 naira. Just 2 months later, we hear everything has come down to like $1 for like 1,030 naira. So this is very, very sad. The government of Tinubu needs to look at this problem because a lot of Nigerians are worried. The naira is very, very weak. When you look at balance of trade and balance of payments, I don't want to go into economic detail, but because the naira is very, very weak, it becomes very uncompetitive. And this is an economy that depends so much on buying from abroad. Why can you not encourage Nigerians to grow their own food, trying to consume what is in Nigeria? This will help a whole lot. Importing things from abroad puts Nigeria in a very bad position. They need a lot of foreign reserves. Okay? So if they have to get the dollar in order to buy stuff, it puts Nigeria in a very weak position. You don't need to be an A1 student in economics to understand the damage of balance of trade and balance of payments. Some of you guys took the example of a Nigerian family struggling to make ends meet. They have to buy medication, they have to buy food. So to even buy some of this stuff is very, very tough. And so one of the analysts was telling us that right now the average Nigerian family lives on maybe like 35 naira, let's say $35 a day or a month. You look at this figure, it's very, very sad. By the time they buy medication, they buy food, they are left with nothing. So they are broke. So that's why the people are already feeling the pinch of the loss of value of the naira. So the government of Bola Tinubu needs to do something to shore up the value of the naira. It's very, very important. Let Nigeria not just depend on importing. Stop importing everything, because that's really the main problem Nigeria is facing. They import too much. They import too much, then they squander their foreign reserves. Okay? They need to stop importing. Let them reduce the rate of importing. So those are the type of economic policies Bola Tinubu needs to implement so that they can shore up the value of the naira. If this doesn't happen, then the Nigerians will continue suffering. And of course, lawlessness and insecurity will continue reigning. One of you guys just sent us a video of a new group that is threatening the peace of Nigeria. It's an Igbo group, and I think this group is also part of IBOP, and they are making a lot of threats. When people make threats, take these threats seriously. Don't take them lightly, because people like to take threats lightly. Then when they kill a lot of people, they start complaining, oh, they've killed a lot of people again. But when they were making these threats, telling you they are angry, you ignore them. For a minute, let me play the video of this new group, I think the Unknown Men of Igbo, who want to destroy Nigeria. Take a look. Watch the video.
If you don't want to lose lives, Tinubu, or Eastern leaders, if you don't want to lose lives, release Nnamdi Kanu. The same way you release Sunday Igboho, release Nnamdi Kanu in that way. Onyezoku have come up again. Onyezoku have come up again, and I have spoken. I have spoken, and this is my word, and this is my powerful message to Tinubu and all the whole Eastern leaders. I don't have much to say than to release Nnamdi Kanu before this month runs up. Before this month we runs up, release Nnamdi Kanu. The same way you release Sunday Igboho, release Nnamdi Kanu in that way. I have told you, a great fire is coming upon the country. A great fire is coming upon Nigeria. A fire that nobody can quench it. I must tell you this. Be careful with Igbos. Igbos did not do anything in this society. We only want our freedom. And no Biafra. No peace. Again. This is me. I don't land again. Many have been talking rubbish. Many have been saying all sorts of things. I know where I am coming from. And I am still traveling again. I know where I have been before. I am still traveling. Any moment from now, I am still traveling. And my coming back again will be on fire. I just went and received this with some of the property, the tools. I only went to receive this with some of the tools. We are fully ready. Thank God everything has been signed to Biafrans. Thank God we have gotten all we need. Nigeria, check when I come around you. Chenaka or Biafrans. Unama face Ibua. All Igbo leaders, Unama face. Kamwaku Nezoku. All these things are not doko. Or Unuakana Dotara. Makana Hagi Wegricha, Ndeberabe Alala. Ofofokara Lunuao. Ofofora Lunuao. Would the Igbo leaders? Ofofokara Lunuao. I know there is one Juele Kukua. And when much equal than to say goodbye to the people of Biafra. Goodbye to our people. Nigeria, the zoological country. I cannot say goodbye to you because I have come back again. And I stand gidibam. This time around, and I go hear the sound of my chain. That time where the hungry una make una come collect, where una want come collect, una go hear the sound again. I am fully back. No matter say I will still travel any moment from now, but una go hear my hands, and una go hear my message, which I know that una go still deliver it. Una go deliver my message. We don't condemn the Ecuadorian. Huh? The owners of the land. The owners of the land. Huh?
Therefore, Liberation Army Commander have spoke well.
Thank you. Now we can move to Senegal.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
In Senegal, the election fever is still going on, but the major story has to do with water sachets. There's such a problem with water. So the way the government of Senegal has tried to solve the problem is by making it possible for people to manufacture water distribution by having sachets. They put the water in sachets, okay? Then people can buy these sachets and drink. But the only problem is environmental pollution. How do we manage the waste of all these sachets? It has become a problem that Macky Sall needs to address. Instead of worrying about Ousmane Sonko, trying to make sure that Ousmane Sonko should not run for president, Macky Sall needs to focus on the problem of these sachets, because that's really what his country is facing. His people are complaining about it. They are calling us and telling us, so we know what the problems are. Finally, we take you to South Africa. That's where we'll end our show of today. South Africa is pro-Palestine. South Africa remembers that during the apartheid days, the Palestinians helped them a whole lot, and they're trying to return the favor. So now South Africa is supporting Palestine. But are they going to support Palestine just with words, or are they going to go a step further? That's the question a lot of inquiring minds wants to know. Cyril Ramaphosa can say, yes, we support Palestine, but how can you not return this in kind? Because what the Palestinians really need is help from apartheid. Some people have described the way Israel is handling the Palestinians as a new form of apartheid. Do you agree? Tell us yes or no. Because we need to revisit all these issues, but we need a new rule of law in Africa. And that's why we're going to end our show by telling you the solution. We don't only present problems. The way we can deal with a lot of the issues we presented on this show today is looking at the rule of law. Politically, the rule of law would make the society stable. Then second, we have to look at tribalism. Tribalism is messing up Africa, okay? Most of the presidents exploit the divisions of the people into different tribes. They play one tribe against the other for their own political gains. This is not good. It's helping the leader who wants to stay in power forever, but it's not helping the people of Nigeria and other countries. So we have to think twice. Then, of course, capitalism, the economy, stupid. We need to focus on the economy. When people cannot work, when people are unemployed, when African youth is disaffected, then they look for crime as a way to make a living. This is not good. It's the same thing that you see today in Amazonia. The people have realized that they cannot win against the mighty army of Paul Biya. So what are they doing? They are using their weapons as a way to look for food, to feed themselves. Is this a solution? Well, it's not a good solution, but that's why you're seeing military coups every day now in Africa. They are cropping up. There's a cycle of coups because the people are looking at sit-tight president as a problem. These sit-tight presidents are supported by the colonial masters. So they want to kick them out. And that's what is happening in the whole of Africa. So focus on these three issues: the rule of law, compassionate capitalism, and social cohesion. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Now more than ever, it is critical that medical facilities utilize modern, reliable electronic health records. Introducing Alexia HTC, the innovative, affordable online solution for physicians and patients. Doctors' visits, diagnoses, prescriptions, and billing have never been easier. With Alexia HTC, you can work more efficiently with the integrated flexibility medical professionals need today. Schedule a live demonstration. Call or visit us at alexiahtc.com.
Do you need tax preparation services? We can help. Contact PJ Tax Service, America's only full-time income tax preparers. Like the good old doctor, we do not close our doors after April 15th. In fact, we stay open all year round in order to serve you. We are located at 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Make an appointment today with Prince Ojong, your tax expert. Call 240-350-1131 or visit us on the web at www.pjtaxservice.com.
Selling a service or a product? Need buyers? Use the African Nation TV as a channel to reach many viewers. Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131. Act today.